Here we go now. Here we go now. Are you laughing at my singing?
Good morning.
Good morning. I'll have you know I'm a very accomplished soprano. I just haven't sung in 8 months. Good morning. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Adventures of Liz and Rebecca.
Yay! I wore this sweater in because I was like, I can show it gleaned. I didn't have time to glean. So I've got my gleaner with me, but I think it's going to take more focus.
Yeah.
But look, look, fuzzy.
Fuzzies.
These are still 15% off, by the way, until tomorrow. You have a day. Oh, okay. You can't see the fuzzies on camera. I can see the fuzzies looking at it. I was going to say.
It's starting to look fuzzy.
It started to look fuzzy like a day after I made it because it's really soft merino. So starting to is, depends on your definition of time.
It's still March, so we're good.
Yeah, but it's still March, but December 1st March. When the heck did that happen?
I don't know.
I refuse to acknowledge that it's December. Even though my tire pressure light came on and I was late getting in here, which is why this episode's going to be a little short because it's cold out.
It is.
So my tires decided to say no. I got in okay though, and actually, if I can find my phone, I should text Brian that I got in okay. I might have to go find my phone.
We should introduce ourselves.
I know, I was thinking about that. I was about to say, I was going to, maybe because of the fuzzies here a little, I was going to show you how well this cleaned up tomorrow, but it looks clean from far away right now. Not when I look down, but from far away. Okay, before I go run and find my phone, I'm Rebecca. Welcome to the Sun Dragons. We already did that part, right?
We did that part.
It's our Monday. I know it's an old joke,
Monday.
but it's true, so it doesn't matter. I'm Rebecca. I am the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber that surrounds us in its loveliness in very, very, for right now, chilly Brevard, North Carolina.
Oh, it's not warm enough that much. We might be like
for
in the low
today.
40s.
Chilly. It was mid-20s when I left the house this morning.
It was flurrying at my house when I left this morning.
Who are you?
I'm Liz. I'm the minion at Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in cold but sunny downtown Brevard, North Carolina.
Oh, look, they decorated the dead tree. That makes no sense to anyone who's not local.
This is our life. Like, squirrel. And it's, all day in the shop, we'll be talking, and squirrel. And she found her phone.
What?
What? So not a thing.
Yeah.
I know she's got a thing, so.
What do I have a thing?
I don't know.
What
You're
thing
texting Brian. That's what you're saying.
Cause I grabbed, I left the house this morning and I got to the end of the road and the tire light went out and I went, it's probably just cause it's cold out, but I should check. So I turned around and got back in the driveway and stuck my head in the door and said, hey, I'm home in case you're worried why I'm back in the driveway. Here's what's happening. But then he had a lesson starting virtually. So I didn't tell him I was leaving. I just left. So I was texting him to say, I'm at work, yay! Okay. Hey Liz, what are you doing? Because it's cool looking, and we should start with you.
So what day did I start this? I think I started Friday. No, Saturday. No.
That?
No.
Or that?
Thanksgiving. I started this.
Because last week
I don't remember what day I started playing with this.
Thanksgiving always throws a schedule off. And since time has no meaning in the time of the Rona, everything's out of whack. Yep. And we were here working on Saturday. And so I only really, and you two, had Sunday off. So everything's out of whack.
Because Monday we had errands and
because even though this is our Monday, I was still working yesterday. I took 15 packages to the post office. Thank you very much. But it made my Monday busy. But I still thank you very much. Okay. Go ahead.
So I ordered this to make $35 for free shipping.
It's a giant
needle with two
needle
eyes.
nail with what's with the 2 eyes?
So it's so you can
that?
do 2 different yarns or whatever, I guess.
Okay.
It was $7 and I needed $7 to get free shipping and everything else was $6. So I was like,
wait, the other nails with 1 hole were $6?
Yeah.
So you
so I got the one with 2. So I even had to I bought a book. Where is my book? Because looking on Pinterest, it was hard. So I'm doing nail binding. Anyway.
Okay. I want to point out
that's
if it was nail binding, there's an extra N in there.
Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't. Like the spellings are all completely different.
And there's a not umlaut, but there's a thingy over the A.
Yeah.
So
everything that I've looked at, like it's supposed to be like an E sound instead of an A sound. Yeah. It's Viking knitting. It's
like my best friend from high school, how she would say aluminum.
Yeah.
Aluminum.
Yeah. So
it's Viking knitting.
It's
so cool. It's Viking yarn work.
It's pre-knitting, pre-crochet. It goes back to the Stone Age. Like they've dug up old graves and we've
been joking
that when they dig this up, it's going to look like a kid did it.
Well, no, my joke has been like archaeologists like in a few hundred years are going to be like, it's a craft that dates to prehistoric times, but the carbon dating to the 2020s.
2020. Oh. But it also looks like a kid did it. So this
Sampler.
Yeah. So I started playing with this on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And because I got my book to show me how. Like it's loops over your thumb with a big needle, but there's no gauge to it. Like I can't go here, Rebecca, do this in this gauge because her thumb and my thumb are two different. It means
thumbs. No patterns. Or if they are patterns, then it would be like good luck.
There are patterns.
Well, it probably says go for a certain measurement or something.
But
yeah,
the biggest thing is if you're making clothes, you have to keep trying them on because it's all lines of loops. So like if you're making wristlets or whatever, you got to keep putting it on and measuring and making sure increase and decrease. And anyway, there's no like proper patterns, but my biggest frustration with it is you have to spit join because you're pulling needles through. You can't do an entire skein or have a ball sitting there.
Yeah, so you imagine like the whole ball pulling through and the whole ball.
Yeah. So I put about 2.5 meters. Well, 2 big long pulls.
So yeah, it would be spit joining, or you'd have a lot of ends to weave in if you couldn't spit join. Spit joining, by the way, for our educational moment of the show. If you don't know what a spit join is, 100% wool, because the fiber you can felt it together. Yeah. So you get the ends wet. And, in olden days, which we're not even talking about 2019, we're talking about real olden days, they'd actually go on it. And if you don't have water, you have water in your mouth, spit joint. Liz has a little cup here. Yeah. So the way to not do it without grossing people out, whatever sentence makes sense there, is dip them in water and friction, heat and friction. That's felting.
It's super fast, but then you run out of yarn fast. If you cut
you're
shorter
actually
pieces
spit
of
joining
yarn.
at some point, you run out of spit.
Yeah.
So
I just dip it in a little bit of water, and but it's either you spend time pulling all your loops through, or you do it super fast with shorter pieces of yarn, and then you spit join more. And
so yeah, she's like going bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah,
and it's sewing. Look at that.
But like I told Rebecca,
you've made stuff. Like look at all.
Yeah, I'm making 2 projects.
Are you Nalbindning with the wooden needles?
I am.
That we can get that are mindful wooden sewing needles. Now, what an ingenious use of alternative materials.
So this is my morning yarn, by the way, that I spun.
That's your own hand spun.
That's my own hand spun, so it gets the big needle. And then I was like, well, I want to do a little purse.
Oh, that's what you're doing.
So I did a round. No, I did a round start. But then I needed another needle. I mean, I could have taken that one off, but I wanted to see if
it would work with that.
The mindful needles.
Aren't they cute? We have them back in stock, by the way.
Work.
We almost sold immediately out of them when they came in. I was like, that's gonna sell out, really? But they're unique.
And so yes, they work. They're a little short after playing with the big one, but
yeah.
Since you're not doing more than just
okay, so catch through your thumb loop thingy.
Yeah, but there's a twist in there too.
I'm not gonna do it, so it's okay.
I'll
watch you. But I have so many. I mean, just what I've been doing for Christmas presents and my morning meditations. I have so many projects on needles, and I want to start like 5 more. So that's not going to happen for me.
For me, I don't consider this another craft because it's yarn. Like,
hey, quick question.
Possible answer.
Because I'm taking notes right here. Can you see? I'm taking notes. Is that a ranunculus you're wearing?
It is a ranunculus.
Okay. Not to change the subject, but I'm taking notes so I know what to put in the description.
Let me. It's a ranunculus that I did on a bigger size.
This is like the sweater version of the papillon for Liz. How many ranunculi do you have?
I actually only have 2. And
that's still more than any sweater I've made. I've made one of a sweater and I'm done.
This one I did on, like, it calls for a 10 or a 10 and a half, and I think I did this on 11 with the Oxley.
Oh, that's the Oxley.
That's the Oxley.
Sorry, I have to.
That's
quarantine be damned. I have to touch this.
It crocheted edges because I almost losing the will to live. And I wore it to SAF, like the last SAF, not this.
The last real SAF.
The last SAF, yeah.
Okay. So the ranunculus is this really cool sweater.
Flowers
it's got like lacy
stuff.
There it is. It's hard to see a little. It's hard when it's dark on dark, but the idea of the ranunculus is supposed to be like a sweater with room in it.
Lots of positive
ease, as they say. And you can do it on any weight of yarn, pretty much.
I want to say it only took me like 2 balls of Oxley.
But you do it on the same needle if you're getting the right gauge. And you can do it on lace weight or like mohair. And it'll be light and breezy and airy, or you could do it on like a worsted weight and it would be more substantial. Yours is sport weight, and the Oxley, which is a beautiful yarn, and they stopped making it, and that makes me so mad. It's like, what, yak and merino?
It's yak and merino.
And it's so wonderful. We just sold some, shout out to Candy. She's going to make the Andrea Mowry stripes sweater, which is unlike this. This is my hip stripe sweater. This is in Eco Merino, chunky. And this has thick and thin stripes, which I think is really fun. The hip stripe sweater, I mean, you could do it. Mine's the hip stripe sweater. Let me try that again. Getting ahead of myself. Andrea Mowry just wrote a pattern called Stripes, exclamation point. It's stripes, stripes. And they're all equal size if you follow her instructions. And you could do lots of colors, or you could do like 2 colors, or you could do, she even says you could do it with no color changes if you wanted to. But that's written for sport weight. And we sold Candy Oxley to make it with. Oxley is so soft and so wonderful.
And it's warm.
But we only have limited skeins of it left. So I put it in the newsletter saying, if you want Oxley, it's not online, because again, we don't have much of it left, but we could coordinate with someone and build a sweater for them. I think it was only going to take her, there's a decent amount of yardage on the Oxley. She was going to make like a size 3 in Andrea's numbering system, and it was only going to take her hopefully like 4 skeins of yarn, 2 of each. I really want, side note, not necessarily the things I finished when I'll talk about this episode, but another yarn that would be wonderful for it is the Plymouth Hearthstone. I put in my newsletter that the Alba might work for it. It's a light DK, so it's almost a sport weight. But this stuff, if you can't have the Oxley, which has yak in it, which so soft. The Plymouth Hearthstone is a light sport weight, so it would have a wonderful drape because it's almost a fingering weight. There's a ridiculous amount of yardage on each and every one. And it is alpaca and merino, I believe. And I was knitting with it for my morning meditation. I mean, if I hold it, look, you can see it's got some lace work in it. Look at that. Look.
You can finally see the edgy lace work.
Yeah, the little stars.
Yeah.
The little stars kind of show. I think, again, when I block it, they will sing. But knitting with this, oh my gosh, it's so soft. Like, I want to make a striped sweater out of this. Unfortunately, I have 2 sweaters going. Well, I have more than 2. 2 that I'm actually interested in finishing right now. And one in my head, and at least, well, maybe there's 2 or 3 in my head, but I really want to start one with this because it's so yummy and soft. Ah! So if anyone's interested in starting a sweater, please contact us. Or
we also,
you math yourself. I don't know.
We also have a gorgeous color palette in the Queensland Walkabout,
which is not as soft. The Walkabout will be a substantial sweater. It's
not like a substantial as in a thick sweater, but like it'll be.
It's Shetland Island Wool.
Yeah, it's a little scratchy.
It's roving gangs of sheep that are demanding protection money.
Yes.
So,
but the palette is absolutely.
I mean, substantial.
Gorgeous.
Like it will last forever. If it pills, those pills will walk away on their own and start their own colony somewhere.
I think it'll probably.
I don't think it will.
That's the thing,
because it's not as soft and it's well spun. I don't think it will pill as much. Or if it does, it'll be this little like, what's this doing here? Like not like this where I've got to groom the whole thing right now. Anyway, but I'm craving soft right now.
The color palette.
We have
an
amazing color palette in the Walkabout. I think I'm still getting the last few colors that we got in, which are the most vibrant. I still haven't taken. If I have taken pictures, they may not be online yet.
Well, and they're 50-gram balls, so if you're planning to do a lot of different colors, you could pick out a lot of different colors.
I think we should make kits. But I wanted to make kits of the hats I made last week, and that hasn't happened yet. So I have dreams of making kits, but you all know, if you don't see a kit online, you really should contact the shop because that's probably what it's going to take to build a sweater, is talk to us or do it on your own. I would love to make everything simple and easy for everybody, but I'm a little worn out.
At some point, y'all have to pick your own colors.
Kick you out of the nest. That's what we do here. No, we're really happy to help you, but we may not be able to help you before you contact us.
Yeah.
Because we spent last weekend, like after Thanksgiving, Liz was just pack an order, check the computer, pack an order, check the computer. and
answering the door.
And again, good problem to have, right? It's just because the energy we have to put in is so much more than the output that's happening, and we're glad there's output happening. Believe me, we're tired, and not trying to say wah, but a little wah, just a little, because this is not the pandemic we were promised.
No.
No, but we're happy to do it, but put us to work on it.
Yesterday.
Don't wait for us because oh my gosh, we're napping under the table.
Speaking of not the pandemic, but yesterday we had a phone checkup thing for the VA, and the question was, hey, now they want us to have goals now, and I don't know.
Staying alive? What?
Yeah, I know, right? And it was like it could be anything. But you need a goal for the next time we talk. And I was like cleaning my craft room because that was supposed to happen during the lockdown. But everybody went, I need masks. So
like the yarn shops that are like, oh, lockdown, I cleaned up my storage space. Who's done for that?
Well, yeah, it didn't happen because, not the pandemic we were promised.
No. My goal is Christmas presents, maybe. I think I have one family almost done, which I'm going to talk about in a minute.
I ordered Christmas yesterday for the kids in my family. Amazon gift cards for every one of them in a different tin.
Easy.
And they'll get there before Christmas.
Before I put this away, I should mention that this is the Richland Shawl by D. O'Keefe. And it's written for DK weight yarn. I'm doing it in a light sport weight just for fun, which means I am over, I think I'm at 100 stitches right now or so, and I'm only supposed to go to 148.
Are you doing it on the needles recommended in the pattern?
I don't think so, because I didn't want it to be that loose for the lace work. So I'm going to keep going. Like, this is still my first skein of yarn. So I can see where I'm at when one skein is left. But, I mean, the pattern, again, written for DK weight. I forget on what needle. But I am on 5.
Ooh.
It's almost a ghost to Liz. But so I'm just going to, but it's the kind of thing that this section, so the section I'm on right now, you're adding 1 stitch every right side row. And you just keep repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating this section. I'm going to have to move to a longer cable very shortly, but I'm just going to keep going until it's the size I want, or I lose the will to live on it for the shawl. You know, at least as big as the pattern calls for, but probably bigger so it's a sizable shawl. I have to go back and look at what size it's supposed to be when done in the right weight yarn. But any shawl, like she says on this, any shawl can be adapted for a different weight yarn, thinner or thicker. Just consider adapting your needle size. Like Liz was asking, because I could do this on the needle size it was written for, and it would be lacier and drapier and yummy. And because we're talking about this, although my phone's gonna yell at me because it's about to die, I'm gonna check. So Rich and shawl. Taking notes. But it's because I was in between projects for Christmas, and I think I need to stock up on some yarn here. I'm still looking for, let's see. It says 6s and 8s, so maybe it was only, I think, yeah, the 8 is just for the bind off. So I've only gone down 1 needle size from what DK weight, and it is sport weight, but it's a light sport weight. It's just so yummy. I'm loving this. Every time I pick up something for my morning meditations, I go, oh, this is why I'm making this. Yay. And then I have other things to work on. Speaking of,
What?
It's not a thing. Speaking of, I finished some Christmas presents, so I'm going to show them off. And if anyone, if my niece or nephew is watching, too bad you know what you're getting. So this, I should have started off wearing this. That would have been fun. This is for my niece, because I'm making hats for like a lot of my family. But my niece is not into hats. She doesn't do hats, so we're not making her a hat. But this is the dragon, shoot, I forgot the name. Dragon flame cowl, maybe?
Yeah.
It's in my newsletter. So I'm going to find it real fast. But look, she loves dragons. That's the thing. She absolutely loves dragons. And so I said, well, what if I was going to just make her a regular old cowl. Dragon fire cowl. That's what it's called. Yeah. Fire cowl. I'm going to forget stuff. There's a little.
We don't do show notes prior to the show.
But
we either do them during the show or quickly try to remember them post show.
So anyway, her colors were turquoise and seafoam green. So I took Frankenstein's Cotillion and Sea Glass by Fiber Space. This is all the leftovers I have, like, and a turquoise Cascade Heritage. And I was like, okay, I can make a super bulky cowl, and I'll just do seed stitch or something fun. And then I said, what if I could make something dragonish? Like, so I looked up dragon patterns. I found this one. Look at this. It was so easy and fast. If I actually did this out of a super bulky yarn, it's indicating it would take less than 70 yards. I'm probably going to test that with a yarn in the shop. So we have a shop sample of this because it's a free pattern, and it is knit flat. Look at that. And the online thing was even saying, you know, you could wear it this way if you wanted to. You could wear it. Look at that. Isn't that cute? How fashionable.
Like it.
I know, right? And I had to find a button, and we settled on, this is one of Sue Dial's polymer clay buttons, and it kind of goes and it kind of stands out, and I think it's really awesome. So I will say, as with all buttonholes, this one was loopy and really big. And when I was sewing my end in, I made it a little tighter. I used the end from sewing this from casting off and finishing off to make the buttonhole a little bit tighter. Otherwise, I would have needed a button about twice as big. And the pattern actually has a really big, huge button on it. We don't have that many big, huge buttons. And I don't know when I'm ordering big, huge buttons like that. Like, that would be fun. But we have to be careful with our purchases right now. So this, what I really like about this, it is mostly knitting. As you can, it's garter, right? Except for, you see those little V's over on the trails of straight down V's? There's like a few purl stitches thrown in just to give it a decorative look. It's really easy. I had people, I was reading the comments, people were baffled because there's scale pattern 1 over here where you're increasing, and then scale pattern 2 on this side are short rows. Like, if you can see, this is the last row making all this stuff over here. It's like you go like this, and you get really big, and then you start doing short rows to finish, and people were baffled by those directions. Trust the pattern, follow the directions, it will come out like this. And then
sometimes it's really hard to trust.
Yes,
pattern,
it's like there's got to be something wrong with the pattern. There must be something wrong with the, no, it worked. I thought there was something wrong with the pattern too. And the way they slip stitches for this top edge is different than how I'm used to slipping stitches. But I figured it out, and it's great, and I can offer advice to anyone who wants to make it. So, ta-da! And so I finished this. Even wove the ends in, did that this morning. And then this is for my nephew, who things aren't cool anymore, so hopefully this will be funny enough that it's cool. I made another anemone hat for him in colors I think he might actually wear as a 13-year-old. We'll see. I made my anemone strands longer on this though than the first hat I did. I still have to throw this in the wash, but anemone hat by Cat Bordy. It's really fun to make, and that's why I kept this this much of a skein left over of 100-gram skein. Depending on how long you make your tendrils and what size. I did the adult medium. It fits me quite nicely. I had a knitter asking this weekend, do you only need 1 skein? And my answer was, it depends, but probably, because look, that's all I had left. If I made the adult large, might have run out because those tendrils can use up a lot of yarn, but who knows? I think I'm loving
tendrils are kind of like fringe.
Yeah.
They eat up yarn.
They eat up yarn, but that's okay because usually you may only need half a skein of yarn or so for a hat like this. So that was my Christmas knitting for over the weekend. And so I think I have one family basically covered, and they may go in the mail once I wash this to fuzz it up a little bit. So other things, I was, when I'm not here at the shop, it's my therapy, so I do a lot of it. Let's see. I had an adventure with I had plans to have fingerless mittens. I knew I should say fingerless gloves. Let me qualify. Fingerless mittens have a one open area for your fingers, but they stop right here. For me, fingerless gloves are not just one open-ended, easy peasy thing here. They have individual fingers, but they stop. They're considered fingerless because they're not complete. So I have not woven the ends in on this, but I was like, ooh, Andy's sock from Plymouth that we have here in the shop, it does self-stripies like this. It's got alpaca in it. So merino, nylon, alpaca. Ooh. I said, this will be fantastic for the cold weather for me. And
voila, another Christmas present.
Yeah, I have another Christmas present half done because I was pounding through this. I mean, I was doing the cuff and I was like, that's a little, that's not as narrow looking as the pattern. This is Pearl Soho's Gem Gloves. And I was like, it's gloves. It's fine. I'll just grab the needles that they say and go. Yeah, I tell everyone test their gauge. Yes, even on a hat, you probably want to test your gauge because you never know. Because I've had people come in the shop and say, my hats are too big. What's going wrong? Did you test your gauge? No, but why is my hat too big? I'm like,
So
you see what happened once.
generally, there are those of us that only test our gauge for big items because, sweaters.
There's a lot of hours in going into that.
But then when it comes to making smaller items,
it can still go horribly awry.
We have a headband that was cabled on the needles that called for in the pattern, and
it goes around my neck. It doesn't fit on my head.
Cozy.
It's somewhere. I don't know. We found it and we lost it again.
Gauge.
So gauge matters. And so I was like, like once I got through the ribbing, I was chug it, and I made the thumb, and I started to put this on with the fingers, and I went, it's a little roomy. And then
I got pictures. I'm like, ooh, that looks cool.
I put them on Instagram too. Everyone got pictures, but I sent them to you first. So this is not as snug, and it's fine, but it's a little like look the back of that. Look, see those wrinkles? It's fine.
It's fine.
It'll be fine. Everything's fine. I kept pulling it down while I was making the fingers, thinking if I yanked it down, it would fit better. But I mean, like, look, I could do the pinch. I could do like the presidential fitness pinch test over here, and have a whole extra thumb. So I measured my gauge. And then I checked the pattern for what the gauge was supposed to be. What? It's supposed to be 8.5 stitches per inch. Huh. I have 7 stitches per inch.
Huh.
That means a whole inch, stitch and a half. I should have a stitch and a half more stitches into the same space. They need to be smaller. This was up down on a size 2. So I said, and I figured that out when the pinky was done and I was working on the thumb. And I said, well, I'll finish them and see if finish one and see if it fits Brian. And it basically does. He's like, yeah, it's comfy, but it's not too tight. I'm like, it means it's even big on him. Because he was like, I don't have big hands. I'm like, they're bigger than mine, hon. Try on the glove. Like, try this on. He puts his hand out. I'm like, no, put it on yourself. I'm not putting it on you. Anyway, that's a side story. So but I had fun. I had fun.
I'm not sure how to wear it.
I had fun just like actually making the fingers match. Like I would pull to the next section of yarn so the fingers. You don't have to. You can make mismatched fingers. That would be fun too. But isn't this fun? It stripes on its own. You don't have to do all that much work. And
did you plan out the fingers so they all lined up?
I did. I just said that. She's not paying attention.
I am paying attention. And then I realized what I was paying attention to, and I was like, huh.
Well, it didn't take much. I mean, the first one maybe a little, like, because the spot, yeah, okay, the spot where I put everything on stitch holder on scrap yarn was this gray, and you can see that this, like the progression of the stripes, it goes to turquoise to light blue to gray again. And so I almost didn't. And then I was like, it's going to take me going like this and cutting. And I'm already back to where it matches. So I made it match. And now that they're not for me.
Brian's going to get mismatched fingers.
No. Now that it's not for me, it looks, planned for someone else is what I was going to say. Anyway, the gem gloves are full finger gloves. They're supposed to be like fashionable ladies gloves. So again, oversized doesn't work. But I took those instructions from Pearl Soho, and I just am stopping early on the fingers. I'm not even doing ribbing on the fingers before they stop. If they want to curl a little bit, I don't care. I think it's cute. Brian may not think it's cute, but tough. This is his Christmas present now. Merry Christmas! But see, I have all this left over. I have started a second one for him. On my 2s, I'm doing double points. I will say, like, if I put these on for the double point stuff, you can kind of see where, well, I can see, it's really hard on camera. You can kind of see where I switch needles, but I'm sure just a good gentle washing of these. They are machine wash, even with the alpaca. Machine wash gentle. That might even out a little, like block with wear, might even those out. So I'm gonna make another pair for me sometime. I don't know when. Once I get past the ribbing, they fly. I get them done pretty fast. I think I'm gonna use this color.
And they'll be matchy-matchy.
They'll be half matchy-matchy with Brian, but not quite.
Well,
but
yeah,
we can wear them and we can coordinate.
Yeah.
So
his and hers.
We can go for a walk in the winter and hold hands with our fingerless gloves and be kind of semi-matchy-matchy. Yes. Okay. But since my stitches will be tighter, I think my stripes might be a hair thicker, or they might not even be noticeably thicker. We'll see. That'll be my experiment. But I'm probably going to have to use 1s or 0s to get the right gauge. I brought everything home to test when I came by the shop to go to the post office. And then I had too much to do yesterday, so I haven't even tested yet. So, yeah, you know.
Tonight, during midnight.
Maybe. I have like 6 things I want to work on during midnight, and I have more Christmas presents to work on. So we'll see what happens during midnight. You should come to midnight, because then you can find out.
I'll be there.
On Zoom. The link will be in the description, or if you're familiar with Zoom, you go on Zoom, you join a meeting. Only between 6 to 9. If things are running smoothly, will the magic portal be open, and you can put in our shop phone number. Oh, it just got sunny. Look, I'm lit up like the sun, because it is the sun. So the shop phone number is 828-877-3550. She's so distracted. She doesn't get,
I giggled.
Intense stuff. Good. Giggle on cue, darn it. Okay.
Just because you didn't see me giggle.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of, we need to wrap up soon and open the shop. But my sorrel is in here and I haven't made any progress. I'm very happy with the progress I made on my Christmas present stuff. So, you know.
You made lots of progress.
The other things that have been in my morning meditation, by the way, what's going on? Oh, somehow my photos opened on my phone. That was weird. I have to move my honey moss onto a bigger needle because it's filling this one nicely. But I made a little bit of progress on this.
I should make this caveat. Just because Rebecca chooses to move her things onto a bigger needle, you could jam way more stitches.
Oh yeah, I could, but
she likes to have it laid out pretty.
I can't take nice pictures. I could keep going. This is like a 24 inch, I think. I'm only on 24 inch right now. I could keep going because look. Yeah. See, look how much cable I have left if I jam. But I like when I do morning meditations, then I have to take photos and.
Yada yada yada.
And another morning meditation I did over the weekend that I'd like to remind everyone of this yummy yarn is our Get It for Metal Tweed, which I forgot how yummy and wonderful this is. If you want something a little bit of pizzazz and sparkle, this has the lofty fuzzy, lightweight fuzzy of alpaca around the core. And so it's got a nice halo. Oh, these needles are always coming undone. I don't know if you can see the fuzzy halo on it. Only a little.
Yeah, a little.
The tweedy flecks of color. And then what doesn't show up on camera so much is there's sparkle in them there hills. And them there knitting. You got to see it in person to believe it. But there's like just the littlest bit of sparkle, which is just jazzes this up entirely. So lightweight warmth, fun flecks, and sparkle. Like, awesome.
It is.
And we have a lot of cool colors. This is the most neutral of the colors in a way, except for the white, which has...
The white isn't as neutral as that.
I know. So this is fun. This sparkle and this is kind of gold looking. I want to say the flecks of tweed are like the same in every color, but they show up different against every background.
Yeah.
So it's really neat. And I am making the, I stopped writing stuff down, but oh well. I'll keep it all out on the table. I'm making the glimmer poncho, and the glimmer poncho is going to like wrap around. I probably said this on this show before. You're going to seam this upper edge. So when you're wearing it, it's going to go at an angle, and you're going to have this lovely lace work at the bottom. It's really pretty. I believe this is also written for like DK or worsted weight, the glimmer. And I haven't even been counting. You're supposed to do so many repeats of the pattern down here. I haven't even been counting because I think I still have a ways to go, because it's got to be a really long rectangle that you fold in half and sew. So yeah, I think I got everything out that I've been working on. Maybe. Cool. Stay tuned for more Christmas updates. And again, like someone asked during our Saturday sit and stitch, what if someone's watching who's getting your present? I say, tough snookies, they know what they're getting.
This year is, yeah.
Surprise! It's something you already saw on my show, but that's okay. Seeing it in person is different.
Yeah.
So, it's all good. All right. Thank you for watching, everybody. And
we should go through our schedule real quick. Do we have time to do that?
Yeah.
We have like
go.
2 minutes.
Go.
Tonight, knit night.
I already mentioned it, but go ahead.
I know.
Mine.
Zoom 828-877-3550.
Very good. 6 to 9.
6 to 9
Eastern Standard Time.
Tomorrow is the most dangerous show on YouTube.
It's the VSC. It's the virtual shopping channel from us. And who knows what will be on sale.
Who knows?
But then it'll be on 15% off.
It's still early. UPS and FedEx haven't shown up today. So
I don't think any famous last
anyway, Thursday is Dear Becky and Lizzy. You can send us a letter, snail mail at Dear Becky and Lizzy, Sundragon Art and Fiber, 35 South Broad Street, Brevard, North Carolina, 28712. Lots of packages, thank y'all. Or you can email me, Liz at sundragonartfiber.com.
And if you don't send us a question, we will just have to
ramble
on
aimlessly.
Whatever we feel like doing on Thursday. Ha!
Friday is
another sit and stitch. In the evening, same time, 6 to 9. Same phone number to get you into Zoom, 828-877-3550. I think that's it.
And then the week starts over again.
We're here Tuesday through Friday, 10 to 5, to answer the phone and help people outside and help people inside if they sign up for an appointment. You got to sign up in advance. If you walk up to the door and yank on the door, we're not letting you in. I'm sorry. But we will bring you lots of stuff outside. Today it's going to be chilly to shop outside. We'll do it as expeditiously as we can. But you need to know the rules before coming in. And we need to know who's coming. And yeah, everybody needs to be prepared. That's how things work. Because we're living through a pandemic. And we are working to keep you and us safe. So anyway, we miss you and we love you. And we hope that
like us and subscribe and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna make this out of a really fun yarn, and it's gonna be awesome. And maybe I'll do that at knit night, and we can talk about it tomorrow.
I just had a thought.
I'm plotting.
I'll fill.
But maybe she's plotting something different. So you all get to hear what the plot.
Dun dun dun.
You might not hear about both plots though. Ooh. Ooh. Okay.
If we even remember what they were when we get done filming. One of those days.
Happen. I have emails to answer, and you have packages to pack, and
yeah.
I have emails from last week that I don't think I got back to that I feel really bad about. But oh my gosh, life is crazy. We will try. Bug us if you don't hear back from us. It's not that we don't love you. We love you all. But there's just the two of us. And sometimes it's like, oh my gosh. All right. Enough of me complaining. We're going to go, bye. We love you. We hope join us tomorrow. Yay. Yay. Okay. Here we go. I'm really toasty.
You look really toasty.
Yeah. If I wasn't worried about keeping all this clean.
those days.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.